Greetings friends, welcome to our channel Coach Chef. Today we are going to solve yet another subsegment sum problem. The problem code is SEGSUMQ. It is a medium level problem with one prerequisite, which is persistent segment tree. So let's move to the problem statement. You are given two arrays A and B. Both consist of n integers. You will also be given m queries, each of the form L, R, Cj, Dj. For each of these test case, we need to calculate the value of sum of maximum of 0, ai into Cj minus bi into Dj for all the I from L to R. This is an online problem. This means that the input for the next query will only be given after we present the output for the current query. So let's try to understand the problem with the help of a few samples. So in this sample case, we have an array of size 5. The array A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, while B is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the first query, L is 1 and R is 5, C value is 1 and D value is 1. So we have to find the summation of ai into Cj minus bi into Dj for all the I from L equal to 1 to R equal to 5. So for I equal to 0, for I equal to 1, C into A minus B into D will be 1 into 1 minus 1 into 5, which is minus 4. Since the value is lesser than 0, so we do not take its contribution. Similarly, for this case, we'll have 2 minus 4, which is minus 2. We do not take its contribution. 3 minus 3 is 0. 4 minus 2 is 2, so we have to take its contribution. And 5 minus 1 is 4, so we have to take its contribution. So the total required sum is 6. For the third test case, for the third query, we have C equal to 2 and D equal to 1. So it will be 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. So contribution is 0. 4 minus 4, 0. 6 minus 3, which is 3. 8 minus 2, which is 6. 10 minus 1, which is 9. So the total contribution is 18. Next, we'll move to the solution. But before moving to the solution, I'll suggest you to pause the video here and think about the solution on your own. Let's move to the solution now. We are going to break this problem into multiple small subsegments. Firstly, we'll try to solve the problem for the cases where L is equal to 1 and R is equal to n, which means we are going to consider the whole array. So what was the given condition? The condition was that C times ai minus D times bi should be greater than 0. Only then we are going to take its contribution. So this thing can be written as Ca is greater than db, which can further be written as a by b should be greater than d by c. So what we can do is, since we have these endpoints, we can consider these endpoints in a 2D plane and mark them. So 1, 5 is marked, then 2, 4 is marked, then 3, 3, 4, 2 and 5, 1. And then we can consider the a by b values. The a by b value for this thing is 1 by 5. For this thing is 2 by 4, 3 by 3, 4 by 2 and then 5 by 1. Let us consider the case where C was equal to 1 and D was equal to 1. In this case, the value of D by C will be 1 by 1, which is equal to 1. And now we have to consider only those points which have a by b value as greater than d by c value, which was 1. Here in this case, this particular point and this point, these are the 2 points that have the a by b value greater than the given d by c. So we have to consider only the contribution from these points. How can we think of this particular observation? What we can do is sort all the values based on the a by b values. That is, for this particular test case, we can sort it as 1 by 5, 2 by 4, 3 by 3, 4 by 2 and 5 by 1. After which, we can associate them with the indices. That is 1 by 5 was the index 1, while 2 by 4 was at index 2, and so on. Since we have sorted this array, so now every time we get a query of c comma d, what we can do is find the value of d by c, then try to find the point such that the values after that particular point have the a by b values greater than this particular d by c. As soon as we find that point, we have to consider this particular suffix and then find the contribution of this particular suffix. How are we going to find the contribution of this particular suffix? For this example, since d by c value was 1, so we have to consider this particular suffix. How can we consider the contribution of this particular suffix? Or what we need is summation of c times ai minus d times bi. We can write this as summation c times summation of ai minus d times summation of bi. So we can use the prefix sum technique and make two different arrays, one only for value of a and one only for value of b, and then what we can do is we can find the contribution of the suffix by using the prefix sum technique. This thing can be done in O of 1, and we can find the contribution of the b array. Then the final contribution of this particular test case, this particular query will be c times the summation of ai minus d times the summation of bi. Now let us try to solve this problem for the cases where we were actually given offline queries. Note that in this problem we are given online queries, but trying to find the solution for offline queries will help us move closer to our solution. So each query can be considered as some function of L, R, C, D. And in this function what we have to do is, in the given array, we have to consider the contribution from index L to index R of only the points that have the a by b values greater than d by c. So here what we can do is, instead of trying to find the solution for L to R, what we can do is we can find the solution from 1 to R first, and then from that we can subtract the solution from 1 to L minus 1. Note that this thing will be same as finding the solution for L to R. So how can we change this f of L, R, C, D is, this thing can be made as f of 1 to R, C, D minus f of 1 to L minus 1, C, D. Note that we have converted each of the following query as only a query on the prefix. Now this thing can be solved in a very similar way as we are solving problems using the prefix sum technique. So now we have the queries of the form f of 1, x, ci, di. Consider that the given A array is this and the given B array is this, and we are given two queries. In one, L, R, C, D are these values, and in the other, L, R, C, D are these values. These queries can be broken down into two different queries of the form f of 1, R, C, D minus f of 1, L minus 1, C, D, and similar is the case for the second one. Now let us sort these four queries on the basis of the I values, where I is the second index, which means the length of the prefix that we have to consider. We have to do is we have to take care of two conditions. The first condition is, while trying to find the value for any prefix, we should not consider any value which lies outside that prefix. And another thing is, while trying to find the value for any c, d, we should not consider the contribution of any value which has their a by b values lesser than this d by c. How can we do that? Since we have already sorted all the indices in our A and B matrix on the basis of the a by b values, what we can do is, when we are trying to find the value for any particular prefix, we can consider a segment tree in which all the values that lie before this prefix are already inserted based on the a by b values. And after trying to find the value of d by c, what we can do is we can consider only that suffix such that all the values in that suffix have the a by b value greater than this d by c. and then we can consider the contribution of that suffix. How can we do that now? We can iterate from 1 to n, and on each iteration what we can do is we can first insert ai and bi. But how are we going to insert ai and bi? What we can do is we have to find the index at which this would lie if the array was sorted based on the a by b values. And at that index what we are going to do is we are going to put our a and b values. Now one thing to note is if we are trying to find the contribution for only this particular query, then we are not going to count any value which lies outside the range of 1, 1 because we have only inserted values till the index 1. And what we can do is we can try to find the d by c value for this case. For this case the d by c value is going to be 3 by 5. And the ratio 3 by 5 is going to lie somewhere over here. That is, we need to take the contribution of the last 3 values only. But here since the last 3 values are empty, so the contribution for this particular query will be equal to 0. Similarly, for the next time we are reaching I equal to 2, and what we can do is we can put the value 2 and 4 here. Then we can find the d by c value, and the d by c value for this thing is going to be 1. And where does 1 lie? 1 would lie somewhere over here. That is, for 1 we have to take into consideration only the last 3 indices. But here the last 3 indices are also 0. So the contribution for this query is also going to be 0. Next we are going to insert I equal to 3, which has 3 and 3. But I equal to 3 has no query for it. So we are going to ignore the query part. Next we are going to insert I equal to 4. So we have to put 4 here and 2 here. And for I equal to 4, what is the c by d value? What is the d by c value? It's going to be 3 by 5. We know that 3 by 5 lies somewhere over here. So we have to take into consideration all the values which lie in the back 3 all the values which lie in the suffix of size 3, which are these values. What we can do is, since we are maintaining a segment tree where we can find the sum of any range, we can find the sum of this range, and we can also find the sum of this range. And what will the value for this query be? The value for this query will be ci times summation of a minus bi times bi times summation of b. Value of ci is this, value of di is this, summation of a can be found using segment tree, summation of b can be found using segment tree. So we can get our answer for this particular query also. Next we are going to move to I equal to 5, and we are going to insert the value here, which will be 5 and 1. Here the d by c value will be equal to 1, and where does 1 lie? 1 lies somewhere over here. So we have to take into consideration all the values of this particular suffix. And again we can find the contribution of summation a and summation b using segment tree, and then use this formula to get the value of this query. Once we get the value for each of these queries, we can easily get the value for all the given queries by just putting in the values of these queries over here and then subtracting them. In this way we will be able to solve the answer for each of the given queries. Note that this solution can only work if we know all the particular L, R values initially, but that is not the case for our problem. So let's move to the actual solution. Now let's try to solve the problem for the case where we will be given online queries. Let us consider that we don't have any constraint on time and on space. What we can do is make n different segment trees. And in each of these segment tree, what we can do is, since we have sorted this particular array based on the a by b values, we can start iterating from backside. We are iterating from backside because for one particular value of d by c, we have to consider all the cases where the value of a by b was greater than this particular d by c. Then we can start iterating from the backside of the array. We can maintain two different segment trees, one for a's and one for b's. For each such value, what we can do is we can put the value of a into the required position. This position is the position in which the 5, 1 existed in the original array A, and 5 is also the position in which 1 existed in the array B. Now what we can do is put this value of 5 and 1 in this particular index, that was 5. After that we can put the value 4 and 2 in a new segment 3 where we have copied all the previous values into the position 3. Similarly 3 and 3 can be added into position 2, 2 and 4 can be added into position 1, and so on. Now consider that I would have to give the answer for some test case where I was given some L, some R, some C and then some D. What I can do is I can find what's the value of D by C. Then I can find the number of values that I have to consider the contribution of. This thing can be easily done by the concept of binary search. I can apply the binary search to find the point from where all the other points which are further in the array have the A by B value greater than this particular value. After which what can be done is I can go to that particular segment tree which has all these elements which are greater than this particular D by C values. And then since I want to consider only the contribution of this L to R, in this segment tree what I can do is I can find the sum of L to R in A, I can find the sum of L to R in B, and then the answer for this particular query would be C times the answer that I have got for the sum of L to R in A, that is summation of A, minus D times the summation of B. In this way we can easily solve this problem, but there is a catch. If we try to maintain n different segment trees, the total time that it is going to take will also be n times log n, which would give us a time limit exceeded convict, because the value of n and the value of q are both up to 10 to the power 5. This thing can be easily done by using the concept of persistent segment tree. Persistent segment tree was a prerequisite for this problem. But what we can do is we can consider each of these timestamps, which is I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I equal to 3 and I equal to 4, and in each timestamp all that we are doing is updating one particular position, and this is the position where this particular value actually belongs to. Since we are updating one particular position, by the concept of persistent segment tree, at most log n different nodes in the persistent segment tree are going to be updated. So we can use the concept of persistent segment tree and maintain n different heads, each pointing to one particular timestamp. And then we can easily give the solution for our query by going to that particular segment tree that is required and then querying the values from L to R in both A and B, and then finding the solution by this formula: C times summation of A minus D times the summation of B. Now we can start coding our solution. First we have taken n as our input, after which we are filling the array A and we are filling the array B. After that we have called the function prepare. The job of this function is to create the persistent segment tree. How is prepare created? So we iterate through all the elements in array A and array B and then try to find the value of A by B. We make the pair of value of A by B and the index and then sort this particular array. Then we reverse this particular array because we care for elements in the increasing order of the A by B. After that we build our persistent segment tree. Initially the segment tree that we have built has all the elements only and only as 0. We iterate through our elements and we take into consideration the ith largest A by B value. The ID is the position in which it's present in the original array A and B. Then we update this particular position in the persistent segment tree. This particular position is updated and the value A of ID is inserted in the first segment tree and B of ID is inserted in the second segment tree. We have used the concept of persistent segment tree, so the total space that is being taken is only n log n. The function update considers the concept of persistent segment tree. As you can see, this function is a very much generalized version of a persistent segment tree. And since it was a prerequisite for this problem, I am not going to explain how this function update is being coded up. But one thing that we have to realize is this function get answer. So what is being done is we are taking the queue as the number of queries, and then for each of the query we take L, R, C and D, and then we try to find the answer of L, R, C, D. In order to find the answer for L, R, C, D, what we do is we try to find the value of D by C. After we find the value of D by C, we apply binary search. This particular portion is binary search. We apply binary search to find the position such that all the values after this particular position are greater than this particular value of D by C. Since the array has no more than 10 to the power 6 elements, so this particular implementation of binary search is going to work. But we can also use any implementation of binary search in order to find the position such that all the values after this position have the A by B value as greater than D by C. After this, what we can do is we can find the contribution from the first segment tree, which is we can consider the ith segment tree of A and take the contribution from L to R, multiply it with C, and then similarly we can consider the ith segment tree, that is post segment tree, for B, and consider the contribution for L to R and then multiply it with D. After which we can find our solution by doing C times contribution of A minus D times contribution of B. And since this was an interactive problem, so we need to flush our output after each query. So let's try to submit our solution. Now we have to wait for the result. And we can see that our solution has got accepted. I know that this problem has a lot to digest. So let's summarize our solution once again. So what we have done is we have sorted the array in the form of A by B values, because we have realized that for each query the value of D by C shows us that all the points which have the A by B value greater than this particular D by C will only contribute to our solution. So after finding the value of D by C, we are taking the help of persistent segment tree so that we can consider only the points which have the D by C values greater than, which have the A by B values greater than D by C, because the persistent segment tree at pos will have only those particular values which will have the D by C value, which will have the A by B values greater than this particular D by C. And then for that particular persistent segment tree, we are going to consider the contribution from L to R, multiply it with C, and then we can also consider the contribution of L to R in the array B, and then multiply it with D. And this thing will give our solution. Thank you. If you like the problem and its solution, do like the video. Also, drop a comment if you have any further query. I hope that this problem helps you to upskill yourself in your journey to crack Snackdown. Snackdown is the flagship event of CodeChef. It's a competitive programming event in which programmers from throughout the globe join, participate, and compete under the same roof. Participating in such an event would help you to interact with coders from throughout the globe. I hope that you continue upskilling yourself by practicing other problems from the mock contest. Thank you.